The business of security is real business, goes the popular saying. The truth of this statement lies in the importance of security and safety to the survival of every life, be it human or business. The daily operations and drive for profits, including emergence of new investments, are only guaranteed in an atmosphere of peace and stability. Statistics revealed that Lagos economy is valued at 28.344 trillion naira or $78.734 billion, which represents more than 30% of Nigeria's national gross domestic product GDP. For the smooth running and growth of this economy, provision of adequate security is highly essential, and the existence and prosperity of the state and the people depends on it.
The objective of the Rapid Response Squad is to respond quickly to any kind of incidents happening in every part of Lagos. Crimes, emergencies, disasters, to respond quickly, get to the site and assist to bring succor to whoever is having any problems.
Between 2005 and 2006, the rate of criminal activities was extremely high. The crime statistics between September 2007 and July 2008 offers further insights. According to security reports, over 73 armed robbery cases were recorded, with 399 arrests and 119 deaths during the robbers' encounter with the police. Besides, there were 201 murder cases, with 48 policemen killed in the line of duty during the period. Again, the operations of security agencies were seriously undermined as a result of poor funding. In response, the state government in July 2007 recorded a milestone in the nation's history as major players in the state's public and private sectors converged to deliberate on the state of insecurity in Lagos. The meeting, which was christened the Town Hall Meeting on Security, was an unprecedented move that has redefined the state's security landscape. The need for the initiative was long overdue, as provision of security is one of the cardinal responsibilities of government. An administration that cannot guarantee the protection or safety of lives and properties has no business being in government. Relying on the support of the private sector, the state government launched the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, Lsstf, as a practical response to the reality of the operational deficiency of the security agencies in the state.
I believe the establishment was indeed a blessing to Lagos State government. Lagos State government, Lagos State indigenous. And it's a good example to other states in the country. Let's imagine a situation where we don't have Lagos State Security Trust Fund on the ground. What will be the state of all the security, even including the military? What will be their state of readiness to tackle emergencies? I think what we were targeting was to promote public-private participation in securing Lagos State. Because securing a place is not responsibility of government alone. It's always good to involve key stakeholders, especially. The security situation in Lagos State without Lagos State Security Trust Fund, it will have been very frightening. It's a blessing to the state, and as long as we continue to promote it, because we have no choice.
There were only 20 vehicles for the whole of Lagos being run by the Nigerian police, and the governor saw the precarious situation. He decided to call a small town hall meeting. Not many people attended, but most people that attended were the corporate customers. Zenith, Oceanic, Access, UBA, and other banks, they all came in and rallied around. They made pledges, and before they even made their pledges can come true, the Lagos State government provided 100 vehicles.
Since it was established, Lagos State Security Trust Fund, through contributions from all stakeholders, has turned policing around by undertaking far-reaching interventions that has empowered security agencies, especially the Lagos State Police Command and Rapid Response Squad (RRS), improve the state's security architecture and enhance its operational efficiency.
The support is somewhat, to a large extent, advocacy. What we try to do as a trust is to let Lagosians understand the reason why this trust was created and the need for them to key into the vision of the trust fund, and the fact that what we do here is for the generality of Lagosians. And in the last 10 years, we've been, consistently advocating to different organizations and individuals, because this trust is donor funded, but also the support has come from people who have really keyed into the success story of the fund. That's not to say that all organizations have keyed into it, because we continue to write to them and reach out to them, but quite a number of them are not responding. But the few that have been responding have been quite consistent over the years, because we say that no matter what your CSR may be, some people may decide to take on education, some may be healthcare. We're saying that security is a common denominator to everything. So we're asking them to take a portion of that, of whatever they may want to do, to donate to the trust fund. But basically, I think we've had some very consistent donors, and we thank them for their consistency over the years.
Between December 2007 and December 2017, the collective efforts of all stakeholders resulted in the generation of 21.2 billion naira in cash and kind. The intervention is reflected in the acquisition of utility vehicles and regular refleeting to sustain a strong response in crime fighting and ensuring regular patrol across the state. To be precise, the amount translates to the acquisition for Lagos Police Command, the Rapid Response Squad, RRS, and other security agencies, 3 helicopters, 1,184 vehicles for patrol and surveillance, 45 armored personnel carriers, APC, 459 power motorbikes, 25 gunboats for patrol of waterways, 660 riders' gear, comprising suits, helmets, and boots, 1,945 bulletproof vests, and 2,605 ballistic helmets. The fund also covered 1,250 leather boots, 558 walkie-talkies, 30 explosive detection kits, 1,000 police hand gloves, 10 walk-through scanners, 122 portable cameras, 500 stun gun batons, 20 Garrett handheld metal detectors, 10 underneath vehicle scanners, and several other items. Serviced by the donated sum, the trust fund also has responsibility for regular repairs, maintenance, fueling, and provision of other logistics that ensures smooth operations of security agencies on a daily basis. Training and retraining of officers, especially the men of the Rapid Response Squad (RRS), is also a major role performed by the fund.
The Lagos State Security Trust Fund is a special unit set up by the government of Lagos State, staffed by highly intellectual set of people whose duty is to go out, gather enough funds for the unit, whereas they take care of all the security needs of all the security agencies in the state. And most importantly, the RRS is the baby of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, where they provide almost everything members of the Lagos State RRS would need to do their jobs so well. So our patrol vehicles are maintained. All the equipment we have are maintained by the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. I'll give you an example. If my vehicle breaks down, if my bike breaks down, all I need to do is to take my paper and pen, write to the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, inform them that my vehicles are broken down, and they send mechanics to pick them up, repair them, refurbish them if they need to be refurbished, and they give to me. So giving me enough time to face the duty of policing of the state while they take care of all the equipments we use to police.
The funding does not include the various support extended to Lagos State Security Trust Fund by Lagos State government. The high point of this direct intervention was in November 2015, when Governor Akinwumi Ambode made the single highest donation in the history of the fund. The administration delivered to security agencies on the state a total assets in the sum of 4.6 billion naira.
The overall policy thrust of this administration is built on a tripod: security, job opportunities, and improved infrastructure. We are all aware of the recent trend in terror attacks all over the world. As one of the emerging global city-states, it has become compelling to re-energize the security infrastructure in meeting with the present-day realities. In a bid to invigorate the State Police Command, the Rapid Response Squad was established in 1999 under the visionary leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The command was further strengthened during the administration of Babatunde Raji Fashola, who set up the Security Trust Fund in 2007 to create a public-private partnership to fund the huge investment required to support security operations in the state. The State Police Command has been a major beneficiary of donations of security equipment by the Lagos State Security Trust Fund and government. Today, we're raising the bar and repositioning the Lagos State Police Command to a standard comparable to similar outfits in other modern city-states. Our police command will have its operations significantly driven by the right technology and equipment that will match the emerging sophistication of crime in our contemporary time.
Lagos State is very, very critical, in every aspect of Nigerian life, both in areas of economy. Is the former capital of Nigeria, the commercial nerve center of Nigeria, and you have laid a lot of foundation, especially in this, the Security Trust Fund. I remember I was CP Kano State about 5 years ago. We have to travel to Lagos to understudy how you conduct your Security Trust Fund here. So this your Security Trust Fund has served as a sort of a model for all other states in the Federation.
That was a turning point for us, because what he did was to rebrand the outfit, created more, supported with more assets, created an environment for these security agencies to work to their full capacity by also introducing insurance scheme to them, increased their stipends on a monthly basis, created avenues where medical help can also be gotten. And so I think all those things he did at that time at the inception also boosted the morale of the agencies, and also showed Lagosians that this is a government that is really, really out for business and means what it says.
Although the highest percentage contribution is still skewed in favor of the state government, which accounts for 71% compared to 29% donated by the private sector, Lagos State Security Trust Fund is no doubt a working security model hinged on a strong mutual understanding between the government and its publics.
Many organized private sector, many enterprises, many companies, many businesses, they want to operate in a very safe environment. Lagos, arguably again, is probably one of the safest states, one of the safest cities that we can think of, purely because of the fact that the private sector initiative, in collaboration again with the Lagos State government, had created a very powerful model of how security system could be supported, could be sponsored, and could be financed. And that has done so well. Other states are beginning to copy that model. It's a winning strategy any day, any time. And anyone will see that the level of crime, the crime rate in Lagos State had dropped very significantly. There's nightlife now, there's night activity, and young boys and girls could go out at night, they can go to parties, you will see a lot of restaurants springing up everywhere, a lot of lounges springing up everywhere, and young business people, they all stay late at night to do their own enjoyment and so on and so forth. Whereas this is not the case many years ago, but it's now a standard in Lagos. Nobody even thinks about it or talks about it. You just go out and enjoy yourself in Lagos.
I think it's value for money. I mean, they see what we do. We are a very accountable organization. We hold town hall meetings and cluster meetings with stakeholders. We publish financials and what we do on a yearly basis. We hold town hall meetings. And also our website is very functional. I think what is most important is that the people that had the vision that led to the creation of this trust fund have seen the impact that this has made in the whole state. If you look at our state today, I mean, people take for granted how it was for about 10 years ago or even more than that. But now people go about their normal businesses, nightlife has returned back, infrastructure is springing up everywhere, and the government of Lagos is also complementing and improving infrastructure and making lives very conducive for Lagosians. So they see what the trust has been able to accomplish in the last 10 years. And some of them, as I said, are quite consistent. There's still a lot more if you consider the fact that 30% of our GDP in Nigeria is in Lagos. We still have quite a number that haven't done anything, despite the fact that we've tried as much as possible to reach out to them. But we'll continue to try. We're not going to get tired of it because we believe that the service we're rendering is for the collectivity of Lagosians and will continue to persist.
With the new and emerging threats to lives and businesses today, as demonstrated by terrorism, cyber attacks and spam mails among others, the Nigerian police and sister security agencies would rely more on Lagos State Security Trust Fund to fund training, acquire gadgets that will enable them respond and checkmate the threats, as well as improve the welfare and motivate personnel. The fund, on the other hand, would require the noble contributions of the donors to meet these expectations even at this time of economic challenges.
We work as a team, and we also hold Security Council meetings, which is constantly chaired by the governor of the state, to also, interact and cross-fertilize ideas. So I think these issues that you raised are things in their purview. And so what we can do is to support. In terms of training, I know that some 2-3 months ago, they requested for some cybercrime training and all that, and the fund for that training to go on. So I think this is the way we can support.
Sustaining the hosting of the town hall meeting on security is also a strong sign of continuity. As an agency, the existence of Lagos State Security Trust Fund is hinged on trust, accountability, and openness, strengthened by robust engagement of stakeholders who also double as donors. The regular hosting of the town hall meeting on security is therefore a continuation of a tradition of integrity, forthrightness, and accountability.
The whole idea is to render your stewardship. Like any endeavor, you must somewhat, at some point, render your stewardship. So what we do at the town hall meeting is to call Lagosians and donors together to render our stewardship for the last in the year in review. And in that town hall meeting, it is hosted by the governor of the state. So the governor will also speak about his vision for the state in terms of security and other issues, and also talk about what the government intends to do. The Commissioner of Police renders the security report, and then other agencies too, that has some association with security also renders their stewardship. So in all, the people of Lagos State are abreast with what the trust is doing, and the financials too are rendered. The audit report is rendered, published, and so they have a clear view of what the trust fund has done in the last year in review. And so they can also raise comments, profile solutions, and also use it as an opportunity also to reach out to them to donate more. Because you see, there's a tendency that when you hear some figures, you tend to believe that, oh, the money is huge. But when it comes to area of security, there's nothing that can be so huge, because security, first of all, is a very huge expenditure, and it's also a very recurrent expenditure. So you can provide, for instance, a patrol vehicle today, and in the next 1 week, the vehicle crashes because of the nature of the job of the police, except you expect them to just park the car and be washing it and not do anything with it when there's a crime situation. So I think people must understand that it is a very expensive venture. The government alone cannot carry this thing, because, as you know, the Lagos State government has its own core responsibilities, and these security agencies belong to the federal government. But we, as a proactive state, cannot just fold our arms to see our state not secure, and that's why this initiative is in place. And so the town hall meeting speaks to all these issues and gives our stewardship to Lagosians.
Government has also given priority to the management of the fund. These has led to the careful selection and composition of the board of Lagos State Security Trust Fund at inception and now. The team, comprising men of great reputation and integrity from the public and private sectors, have redeployed their managerial acumen to steer the ship of the fund to the successful stage where it is today.
I think it's not a question of the composition, it's the model of the trust fund, which is modeled as a public-private partnership initiative. Our job is quite interventionist, and it has to be promptly done. And so, hence the creation with a 7-man board. And I think I must use this opportunity to commend the previous board. As I said, there was no precedence, and the board did quite a lot under Mr. Makanjola and his team to raise the bar to this level. And the new board under Mr. Oyazan Odukale with other board members, first of all, they are CEOs in their respective successful businesses in Nigeria. And so for them to have even agreed to be on the board is a sacrifice for them. They have been very, very hardworking, very dedicated. I mean, you imagine a job they do without being paid. You know, most of them don't even collect sitting allowance. It's like giving back to Lagos State. And also their organizations also donate consistently to the trust fund. I think that we have a very fantastic board, and we cannot ask for a better board than what we have now.
The direct impact of the combined intervention is that Lagos is now the most secured state in Nigeria, boasting of an extensive, comprehensive and advanced security architecture. The fund has made bold statements in mobilizing and integrating human and material resources to deliver a very strong and highly responsive security system for the benefit of all.
The government also realizes that for you to have a prosperous state, it is related to security, and there's a direct correlation between security and advancement of progress in the state. So the government understands that for us to have this prosperity we are looking for, to be able to generate more revenue, to be able to create more infrastructure, to be able to take people out of unemployment, the state has to be secure. And that's why I think the government over the years, particularly under Governor Akinwumi Ambode, has spent massively in the area of security in the state, and you can see the translation. So even during the recession period, you can see how Lagos keeps prospering. It shows that there's a direct correlation, and people have so much confidence in the state because they feel a sense of security, and that's the reason why the government continues to invest in it. But we are saying that we cannot let government do this alone, because government cannot even meet all the demands of security. That's the truth. We're saying that this is our collective responsibility. This is in our all collective interest, that when the city is safe, our kids will go to school and come back home safely. Our businesses will thrive. I mean, we can go about our nightlife. We can also, develop whatever endeavor we want to develop in a secure environment. So it is a responsibility for everyone. And for a state to be taking this initiative, I think is something that everybody should embrace and key into.
I think the high point for everybody involved in the process was the fact that people were willing to voluntarily donate both cash and equipment in furtherance of the general security. I think that's a high point. I think, and the fact that that trust was maintained over the years was very, very, very important. So I'd say that was the high point.
The usual challenge that every policeman complain about is a lack of information. Lagos is a different thing entirely. Members of the public are cooperating with us seriously. They are giving us information. Information comes in regularly. But we still want to talk to them, beg them to continue to do as they are doing and give us information as it comes. The only thing I want to enjoin them to do is whenever they see police officers or other security agencies moving out, blowing their sirens, they should kindly leave the road for us. It means we are going to save lives somewhere. The fire brigades, probably if they blow their sirens, it just goes to show that probably a house is on fire somewhere, or somebody has fell into the well or sock away, or all the other things that relate to their jobs. So if they see policemen, it means definitely we are rushing down to assist in saving lives. So they should kindly leave the road for us at those periods.
Again, nightlife is back, and there is massive increase in local and foreign direct investments as the state remains a land of prosperity, attracting people from far and near. Because businesses thrive in safe and secure environment, the fund indirectly is empowering entrepreneurs to galvanize factors of production for increased jobs and wealth creation.
My experience has been very rewarding, very eye-opening. I've seen what our security agencies go through, and I must use the opportunity to commend them for the good job they are doing for their fatherland. Because under the conditions that they work, it is extremely tough and difficult. I can attest to that. And with all that, they still put in their best to keep all of us safe. I also think that my experience with the private sector and reaching out to individuals has been quite rewarding. I've met very good people along the way, people who have given me a lot of ideas, who are passionate about Lagos. Because the thing you hear from some of them is that they see how Lagos is succeeding. They see the passion of the governor and they want to be part of that success. So irrespective of having a political office or getting contracts from Lagos, that's immaterial to them. They want to be part of that success. So they willingly provide solutions, willingly offer some services to us, willingly donate, and also assist us in meeting our objectives. And so for me, these things, with this, I've been able to see that Nigerians are quite compassionate. It's just for you to reach out to them, and when they see something that is working, because they say without any fear or favor that Lagos is working, that is about the safest state in Nigeria. Even those ones that are not from this part of the country, they feel safe in Lagos. So for me, it is a very highly rewarding thing that what you're doing is impactful, and I don't see any challenge.
Police, we have RRS. We want to make sure, we want to see RRS in more corners of Lagos. Like everywhere you turn to, you see one RRS vehicle there. Because seeing police around makes your mind at rest, keeps you at rest. You feel secure, that the psychological feeling of having police around. So we want to make sure that Lagos is a very big land space. We want to make sure that we can fill it up with vehicles, police, RRS vehicles all over, so that within, let's say, 5 minutes, they can attend to any emergency anywhere in Lagos. That's our dream.
With every sense of modesty, the Lagos State Security Trust Fund has become a huge platform and an uncommon model in public-private partnership for enhanced security. It is a model and a reference point in innovation. It is a story of success, a lesson in casting noble vision and in sacrifice. For every donation and support you have all given, we say a big thank you. Together, we can achieve more.